News, this just in, it is your girl Esther Joy coming with the Good Vibe News, and today we are going to be talking about one of the most popular aliens that has a scoop that you might want to know about. This collective cult has just been growing, and I think they are all anticipating this galactic being's return. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Good Viber, then that's okay. Let me fill you on the scoop of the century, or possibly the millennia. Alrighty, so it all started when the beings from above acknowledged that there was something going on and they just wanted to see. They saw so much happening, and to be honest, this being really loves humanity for whatever reason. So what did they do? They looked for a body to inhabit. Now here's the thing, they couldn't really find one that could hold their frequency, so they decided to implant one into a person. So yes, they implanted their seed to incubate in this person. Yeah. Now once that seed eventually incubated and came out into this world, the being made sure that this seed that they had planted into the collective humanity would go unnoticed, so low-key, for the beginning of its developmental stage. Very smart, yes. So what do we know happened from there? This being could only stay learning humanity and its ways for so long. It was, of course, made out of flesh, but as we know, this galactic alien being had been planted with a seed for a divine mission and had certain, let's say, energy activations that it was going to unlock later down in the road. Around 12 years old, that it could already see the obviously very corrupt things that were happening around it. And though it tried its best to remain low-key, there are certain moments that it truly just had to act in its nature to uphold all of the lies and the deception that it was seeing happening, to straighten out and perform its life mission. Now this being eventually activated upon its 33rd year, and during this time, or should I say 30th year, because during this span, the being from its 30s was activated fully and now knew exactly what their life mission was. It had been getting and was continuously receiving downloads of direct communication from its galactic, let's call parent. So with this being said, the parent was sending direct communication and instructions for this seated being on Earth to do. And it always left the political structures at the time that were very corrupt, and was a big reason why this being came into the first place, to want to hunt down this being more and more. Of course, this being gained very great popularity because it could not hide the gifts that were plainly being shown to the masses, as this being continued to show miracles and was being directly controlled by the parent entity that was from above, that had seeded this being in the first place. The uproar that it caused was tremendous. This being received many followers, and if you're following along, maybe you know some of the miracles that this being has done throughout the timeline in history, such as breaking the bread and the 2 fishes and 3 loaves, or possibly walking on water, amongst other things. Now this being did his miracles for around 3 years, until eventually, let's just say, the frequency of the earth and the political corruptness that was the overall theme during that time eventually got to them, and this demonstration of hunting down this being, literally, I think, cutting off their ear and really testing them to see what they would do. Now, let's call them the political higher-ups really wanted to test this being because they absolutely saw it as a threat to the structure and foundation and control that they had over the people. And this being could have done so much more, but as it was being directly controlled from the parent entity, galactic entity that had seeded it in the first place, it understood its mission and fell through with it. And that did result in this being's death and sacrifice that happened along with thieves and other beings that at the time were seen as lowly and impure, even though this being did literally nothing except its soul's mission and shifted all of humanity's perspective. Of course, this being's job was not done after its physical vessel had perished, because in all honesty, the physical vessel was just a vehicle for this being to show other physical vessels what to do and to share an energetic frequency for other vessels and beings to pick up on, so that they could also embody their soul essence frequency and get in connection with the parent entity. So what happened now is that the being actually went to another polarizing place where you could almost call it the root of all evil, if you will, though it could have been perceived as something else for them. And on the third day after their execution, they came back just to give the biggest middle finger again to the political entities and literally everyone, to show that their flesh body is just one aspect, but there is so much more beyond the veil. And this really probably spooked a lot of the political side, all of the political corruption, because there's literally nothing you can do to someone who's already dead. But this person came back to life. So yeah, and that is why we have so many people following this entity, because they absolutely see this being as something that should not be messed with and must know something that we possibly have forgotten. So yeah, I'm talking about Jesus Christ and Christianity, one of the biggest alien cults I've ever seen in my life, and I might offend people by saying that, but to be honest, that's what I see it, and I wanted to share this different perspective to you to just show that there are many ways to look at the same cup of tea. And I hope that you enjoyed the tea that I served you here today. If you have anything to say, I absolutely appreciate if you leave it in the comments down below, because again, I really do enjoy hearing what your thoughts are. This was just a thought I wanted to share with you, and I'm really just bidding you an amazing rest of your day. Namaste. Keep spreading truth. Keep being who you are meant to be, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.